I was tied to no city. I was tied to no one person. I could be anywhere that I want, and I could live that digital nomad lifestyle while building my business the way I wanted with NPP.
Hey guys, Dee Ivins here, and today I'm here with Nina Pacifico, who is a student in the No Pants Project, and I'm here today on behalf of Mike Shreve in the No Pants Project, and we are going to talk to Nina a little bit about freelancing and how she's incorporated that into her life and what she's doing now and where she's at. This girl travels a lot. So welcome, Nina. Welcome to the No Pants Show.
Awesome. Hi.
So where are you right now?
I am currently in Minnesota.
Awesome. And where were you last?
New York, and a week before that, San Francisco.
Yeah, I think you may hop a little bit more than I do even.
Yeah, that's planes. Traveling by plane, it's a little bit faster to get around.
Right. So tell us a little bit about your superpower. What is it that you do?
Well, previously, if you would have asked me what I do, I would have told you that I'm a web developer or that I just build websites for people. But my superpower has really evolved the way I talk about what I do in a way that's really amazing. So my superpower is that I help creative entrepreneurs and coaches focus on their craft by taking the guesswork out of how to get clients. The three passions that I really wanted to work with are sales, networking, and tech. Three things I think scare a lot of people in business. And for me, even as an introvert, I've always loved connecting people to people and people to products. So that could be helping you see the value in your services so that selling doesn't have to come off as pushy or salesy, or just creating websites that really work for you.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And that's kind of something that you found through the MPP program. You were kind of layering your skills and through some of the exercises in there, right?
Absolutely. I thought it was just going to be all web development based, and there's just so many more layers that I can do, and it's much broader services that I can offer.
Oh, that's so cool. So how are you enjoying it? You're obviously having fun flying everywhere.
I am. It gives me the freedom to travel and work anywhere that I have my laptop. Actually, just a few weeks ago, I was camping, and I was able to connect to my cell phone's Wi-Fi hotspot, and while I was in the middle of the woods, get some work done. So I don't have to sacrifice that time from vacation to run into go do work at a coffee shop or something.
I remember that. Yeah, because I think I was trying to actually message you about scheduling this interview, and you were like, oh, I'm camping. And I was like, how are you working right now?
Very intermittent. It was a lot on my cell phone plan, but for the little bits that I could do, it was really fun and really good to do. And then the flexibility, because I do a lot of physical endurance events. So that gives me a chance to set my schedule around when I need to train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, what was it you were doing? You're posting about in the group about rucksacking. Explain that to people like me who had no idea what rucksacking is.
So rucking is...
Oh, is it rucking?
Yeah, rucking. Well, so rucksack it's the right term for the backpack. Basically, a rucksack is the backpack, and I'm carrying weights in the backpack and just walking. So imagine hiking with weights, which, if you were doing backpacking or anything like that, you'd be carrying weight with you. And this time I have steel plates in my bag, and I did a 50-miler. So I actually when I was in San Francisco, I did a GoRuck event called the Star Course 50-miler, and our team went about 44 miles. We didn't complete it, but still, it's a lot.
That's a lot. That is a lot. I used to backpack, and that's a lot. So what are some goals that you have with freelancing right now? Tell us a little bit about that.
So my overall goal is financial freedom. Family is everything to me. So everything I'm doing is setting it up so I can take care of my current family and my future family. That's really the primary drive for everything I do. Meanwhile, I have my lifestyle goals, which is living a life of what I call vibrant adventure. There isn't really a word that I've found that encompasses what I want, so I kind of combine those two to create what I'm trying to get at. So in that way, I like to challenge myself. So I do physical endurance events. I do the Goruck events. I'm thinking about adding Spartan races in there as well. And I'm just checking off these experiences from my Lifestyle by Design worksheet, which is part of MPP, and really getting to do all of these adventurous things that I want out of life. So I did a combat acting workshop a couple months ago where I learned how to fight with swords, and I want to do fire spinning and aerial silk classes. I'm really excited to just challenge myself and face my fears. So I'm thinking even probably next year, I will be jumping out of a plane for the first time.
Oh man, that'll be super fun.
And terrifying.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, but again, I will do it once. If I'm afraid of it, I will do it once. At least once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my kind of motto has always been try everything once unless it'll kill you, then maybe try it last.
Yes.
All right, so tell me a little bit about what life was like before MPP, before you started freelancing the MPP way. What were you doing before then?
So before then, well, my story has kind of gone from breakups to breakthroughs. In terms of freelancing, it's been almost 5 years now. And I had a really, really bad breakup where I had moved across the country from Pittsburgh to San Francisco, and I didn't have a job. I didn't have many friends there. He was getting the apartment, the dog. It was a really moment of like rock bottom for me. And it was a point where I have to decide, do I go back home to recover, or do I really stick it out and figure out what to do? And I'm stubborn, so I decided to stick it out and change careers. And I changed my careers through coding boot camp, learned how to code, and then kind of fell into freelancing by accident when a friend who knew I was looking for a job had some work that he could send my way. And I fell in love with it, the flexibility, the freedom, everything. But fast forward 3 years, and I've taken every client that I could get. I've been having some bad client experiences. It's not stable income. And I just realized that if I couldn't make it stable and figure out how to make it work, that's the last straw. I need to, resign myself to taking a full-time job, which, again, stubborn. I don't want to do it. But that's actually why I joined the No Pants Project in August. Actually, yeah, so a year ago.
Wow. So yeah, so you were freelancing a little bit beforehand, but it was just kind of all over the board and
everywhere.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. And I totally understand it. If you don't have, Mike teaches us the client getting faucet method, and he teaches us some other, really great methods through even add-in programs like fast client getting, which are bonuses to the MPP program that you get with it. But yeah, if you don't have that like client stability of knowing, okay, well, this client, work is going to last like this amount of time, and then I need to start lining up more client work. Like it's really hard to have stable income without having that kind of plan. So that's cool that you've kind of got that figured out now. You've got everything kind of set up to where you're a little bit more stable now.
Absolutely. And also just knowing that I don't have to take every single client that comes my way, figuring out how to really get that and be able to fire clients if it was something that doesn't work out. That stability is just amazing and awesome.
Okay, so you knew a little bit of, web coding, and you were learning all that, and that's what you were doing for client work beforehand. Did you know that was going to be your superpower going in, or, kind of tell me a little bit about that?
I knew that web development would probably be part of it, as it is still currently, but I was always torn between what I should be doing and what I actually want to do. So yes, I knew that web development would probably be my most profitable skill, but that wasn't the only thing I had an interest in doing. And when I saw Mike's webinar, it just really resonated with me. It was the idea of learning how to make a unique superpower with my random skills and knowledge and passions. It really made sense to me. And then like the coaching aspect of everything really sealed the deal, because I knew that he actually wanted us to succeed.
Right on. Yeah, I know that was a clincher for me too. I was like, oh, and you get coaching with it. That's awesome.
Right.
So how is your confidence going in? Like you kind of knew, okay, well, here they're going to lay it out for me. Mike kind of gives you in the webinar like the 90-day kind of template of how you're going to be working through stuff. And then you knew there was coaching involved. So did you kind of already know like, oh, I got this? Or you're like, let me see if I can figure this out. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, so going into this, I was so excited. I was trying to explain to my partner all the different things that I was learning and all the ways I was going to implement it into my business and just how great it was going to be for us financially. And so little did I know that he had already fallen out of love with me. And so once again, I'd moved to a new city, this time LA. And once again, all of my stuff was in storage and I had a choice to make. But this time the choice was actually really easy. I was tied to no city. I was tied to no one person. You know, I could be anywhere that I want and I could live that digital nomad lifestyle while building my business the way I wanted with NPP. So that really gave me the chance to focus in on what I wanted.
That's awesome. So it sounds kind of like that bit of your time, like even though that was a little like tumultuous, but that helped really ground you in who you are and what you want, and kind of gave you the confidence to go after things that you wanted and create like your own lifestyle by design without necessarily having that, you know, kind of be a part of somebody else's lifestyle.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So what, now that you're doing NPP and you've started and you've got your clients coming in, how are things now? Like how many clients do you usually keep on average? And give us some of the dirty secrets. Give us some of your cool numbers.
Okay. Well, like I mentioned, it was breakups to breakthroughs. So, you know, the relationships were ending. It was emotionally draining, but giving me that chance to focus on what I actually wanted really paid off. You know, I think my highest paying job, I mean, honestly, my highest paying job before freelancing in general was $13 an hour. When I started freelancing, I asked my friend who was giving me the contract work, I asked him for $30 an hour because that was the highest I'd ever heard of anyone making for any business an hour. And I thought that seemed reasonable. He was kind enough to say, no, as a friend, I couldn't possibly let you. So I started out at $40 an hour and now I'm making over $100 an hour. It has just completely changed the perception of like what it is that I could make, the value that I put on myself and my time. This year alone, I've had my highest paying clients, my highest paying projects this year, which again, I think it goes back to my ability to convey my value through that superpower. I'm able to communicate what value I'm bringing and just being able to talk about what I do.
Wow. So you went from $13 an hour to 40, and now you're at over 100 an hour.
And then I'm working with projects, so it's not even just hourly, and so the projects are even more. If you count it down for how much hours I put into those projects,
that's crazy.
Even better.
Yeah. So because if you schedule your project and your project takes a little less than what you originally anticipated or estimated, then you're actually making even more than that, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Things that I didn't even think were possible or didn't even think that I could value myself for doing. And I can see that I'm helping and they can see that I'm helping too, which is great. I was actually able to hire my first freelancer for a project. That was crazy awesome. I was actually able to hire someone from the No Pants Project because I found someone else that was their superpower. They wanted to do something that I realized I didn't want to do. Like it's been some really great moments for me, and just that ability to work as much as I need to and then have months where I take off. Like, so last month I knew that I needed to be training for that 50 miler. I couldn't really take on any new clients. So I didn't have to. I put the work in up front. I made as much as I needed to. And then I was able to take off this last month and focus on traveling and training.
That's awesome. So you got to kind of plan it out and take like a whole month off. So I know with most people who are working at a JOB, starting out, you might be lucky to get like 1 week paid vacation, or even, if you've been there a while, maybe you get 2 weeks paid vacation. But because you were able to plan your client work ahead of time, and because you're able to work off of your freedom number, which you learned from NPP, you were able to actually plan what income you needed a month ahead so that you could pretty much take like a whole month off.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I haven't taken on clients. I actually told my clients, hey, I would like to do more work for you, but we need to schedule that after my event. and they're willing to do so because they trust me and they want to work with me. I think that's been really, really good. I mean, just the ability to wake up every day excited to do my work. And it's not just that I love what I do, it's that I love who I'm working with too. I mean, these are things that I've learned in MPP that have taught me that it's not just what you're doing for them. It's also finding the people that appreciate and respect you, and that you're working with people that you want to work with.
Right. Yeah. So you're finding your dream clients, and because of that, because you're delivering so much value, your dream clients are totally good to just wait for you while you go take a month off and not, go anywhere else, because they really enjoy working with you and they know that you deliver value. And so they're going to pause and just wait for you to come back. That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Yay. So tell me, obviously you're at this really amazing point now, and you're not even plateauing, like you're still going up. But what were some of the struggles that you had when you were going through MPP? Were there any of the questions or any of the homework or just any life events that you were like, kind of made you really push yourself forward?
It's feeling really great. I think that I have my new home base is going to be in New York. And so I have a place that I'm going to be moving to, but still traveling from. I have retainer clients that I'm either have put in place and are putting in place currently. So I'll have a lot more stability there. And I'm layering everything on. I'm still going through the program, still working through pieces that really have set it up for me to be able to do everything I'm doing, and just kind of give me that freedom, give it even more freedom to do more things.
That is awesome. That is so cool. New York is going to be super fun. And a lot of flights leave out of New York, and you can fly really cheap. There are a lot of places. So that's a really good spot for you.
Yes. I mean, my goal is that next year will be, instead of like all this traveling here in the country, I'm going to start traveling, doing more international travel. So I think that's going to be a great place to start from too.
That's awesome. Well, there's lots of people who travel in the No Pants Project group, so you can definitely hook up with them and maybe even find some couches to surf on while you're out and about.
Yep.
So tell me, if somebody's watching this video right now and, they're just kind of thinking about their business, what tips or tricks can you give them to kind of help them be productive, or help them think through some things or wrestle with some issues like right now where they're at, so that they can make some progress in what they're doing?
Well, for me, I know that I personally had a lot of issues with not splitting my attention between what I thought I should be doing and what I want to do. I wanted this vibrant adventure. I know that doesn't quite fit the norm for most people. So I had to really become comfortable with being the black sheep of my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say, don't give up just because some of the people that love you and that are in your life, they don't quite understand what it is that you're trying to build. Just do it anyway and show them. You're not doing yourself, a service by continuing to do things that don't make you happy. You will be able to make it if you focus on it and actually give it your attention. The other thing I would say that Mike taught me that's been the biggest, that's really, really stuck with me, is that it's your business. So if it's not something that you enjoy, you have the option to change what services you offer or start an entirely new business to work on. The quote that he had said, it was, freelancing is not a career, it's a business. And you can have many businesses. So that takes away that fear that I don't want to be stuck doing the same thing for 5 to 10 years. I have many passions and interests. So I can't even conceive of the possibility of working at the same job and doing the same thing for the next 20 years, or let alone 5, so you can test new things. You have an opportunity. It's your business. Try new things, learn new skills.
Most definitely. And I think too, like even as we grow as people and as our interests change and as our skills develop, even with what you're doing now, like you may develop a new skill and really hone that in over the next year to 2 years to 5 years, where you're like, oh, I think I want to make a whole new business out of this just because I can, and I want to play with this new, cool new skill that I've learned. And so I think that's really awesome also, just the idea that it's not something that you're kind of stuck into like a career field. Like I know a lot of us grew up, and even our parents, you know, grew up like you go and you do college and you learn this thing and then you do this for the rest of your life. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like we can grow and explore as humans, as people, and we can constantly learn new things. That's really cool insight, Nina. I really like that a lot. So thank you for that. So Nina, I know you've got some little kids that are going to be coming home not too long from now to snuggle and play, and you're hanging out at your super cool friend's house, and you're just taking some really awesome time to hang out with us this morning, and we really appreciate it. If you had some final thoughts or final words for those who are watching this interview who are thinking, you know, I don't know, is MPP right for me? Like, is that going to really help me get my business off the ground? What would you say to those people who are thinking about the No Pants Project right now?
If you're thinking about joining the No Pants Project, I really like you to make sure that you take advantage of the coaching and accountability. You know, the thing that you don't see if you haven't been freelancing is just how lonely it can be and how isolating. Even if you're working at a coffee shop, you're not necessarily, you don't have the same kind of coworker feel. So if you want that kind of accountability, this is great for that. I mean, and it's not just the coaches, it's the students. The students are in there helping each other and cheering each other along the way. You know, and I know that it can be intimidating to share with strangers, but this group is just so supportive and so helpful that you'll now have this new network of amazing people who all just want to help each other and help others. Like that's a crazy, amazing thing to have as a freelancer, again, because you're not alone.
Nina, thank you so much for taking time to hang out with us this morning. I know you're hanging out with friends in Minnesota, and that you're having like just this wonderful life. And we're so excited that you could share some of that story here with us in the No Pants Project video show series. So thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You have you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the group later.
Sounds good.
Thanks.